2010 was the year that you released Metropolis.
Yeah.
What was it that kind of brought the band together then, back at that point?
To be honest, Gary, I'm going to be totally honest. All the years we were off, there were kind of people offering us quite great amounts of money to get back together and do one show, and I kept saying, no, not doing it. And I do interviews for all the other projects I was doing with all magazines and stuff. And Kieran, who does the Firefest, the big festival,
Yes.
the Firefest every year, he's a great guy, and he's a very pushy guy, and he also runs Fireworks magazine, or is involved in that. And I'd speak to Kieran and he'd say, look, just do one show, just headline the Firefest and I'll give you this amount of money. I'd be like, Kieran, I keep telling you, it's not going to happen. Andy's in Malta, everybody's busy, it's never going to happen. And we just kept on and on and on, and being honest, as I said, the money kept going up. And so one day I went round to Merv's, we were writing for something else, and I said to Merv, should we just do one show and just have a laugh and just all get back together, do one gig, and then that's it. It doesn't matter if 300 people come, we'll just do the one show, 200 people, and we'll have fun doing it. And that's how it came back together. It was one show, no plans, no future plans for the band whatsoever. And to our amazement, it was the first time the Firefest had sold out in such a quick amount of time. We did the gig, and it was like being the Beatles, Gary. We walked out, we couldn't play the first song. It was just cheering and shouting. There were people there from Greece, America, Japan, flying in for the gig, and we were just totally taken aback. Our breath was taken. We couldn't believe this had happened. And we came off stage in a total daze, we all went in the dressing room, and nobody spoke. We just all cracked open a can of beer. And then eventually we said, what was that all about then? And so we said, let's just go away and take it all on board what's just happened. And all of a sudden, promoters were coming in with offers for gigs. Are we going to make a record? Are we going to do this? And are we going to do that? And we were just totally shocked by the loyalty of the fans. And we just thought, these people still want to hear FM, so let's carry on. Let's do a bit more. And a bit more became sort of gigs at Download, record deals, big agency deals, management deals, and we were straight back to where we were before, which is fantastic. We didn't expect that at all,
No.
So
it is
just
awesome.
amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing, really.
And, another wonderful piece of promotion for you was, of course, getting that significant airplay on the national radio station, BBC Radio 2.
Unbelievable, isn't it? All those years of sort of when our music was kind of even quite current. You had Bon Jovi, Foreigner, everything all over the radio. And we had bits and pieces played on national radio. But, now... we're playlisted on Radio 2 now. Story of My Life got played today. We got Steve Wright the other day. With this last single, Story of My Life, from the last album, Rockville, is got playlisted again. And it's just like fantastic, It's like we can't believe it, at our age and time of life, things that didn't happen all those years ago when we had all that kind of support and endless amounts of money thrown at the band are happening now. But, we don't take it for granted, Gary. It's kind of like we actually just think fantastic, great, and let's just keep going. We've got to capitalise on this, and that's it. And so all the support we've had from all radio since we came back, and fans and everybody, has been beyond our belief, really. It's just been amazing,
With regards to this current album, Rockville, technically it's albums because you've got Rockville and Rockville 2. Was that always the intention, to come out with sort of two separate albums, or is this kind of a happy accident?
A happy accident, really. What we did Rockville 1, and we decided to do the Pledge Music campaign thing, which is, to explain that quickly, it's a chance for fans to pledge and buy things of the bands that they could not get. They can be at video shoots, and they pledge basically to help the band to do the things they want them to do, like carry on touring. Instead of doing a record deal, that's what we did initially for the album this time. And it was great because we had a chance to meet the fans. They came to all the video shoots. They were at all the sound checks and sat on the stage while we sound checked. And you get a first sort of hand view on what they want from the band, which normally after a show, the meet and greet things you do, you've got such limited time with them because there's so many of them you've got to sign and you've got to do the thing and it's a hello. And you kind of talk to them but briefly, have a photo taken, but you don't get a chance to really hear what they think about what the band's doing, So we did that, and one of Pledge Music's things, Gary, is they like to put a bonus record out as part of the pledge that only the fans can pledge to buy. So they said, look, have you got any demos or anything from the Rockville album? Immediately I just said, there's no way that we're putting an album full of demos out. I said, if we're going to do another record, then it's got to be as good, and people are going to pay for it. It has to be as good as the initial album. So we had 6 songs recorded in the same studio, mixed by the same guy from Rockville, because we always write maybe 25 songs for each album to pick the best record from, We thought we had 6 other strong songs, and so when we did the Thin Lizzy tour last year, I had 4 new songs and that we'd written not just me, but all of us. So we said, right, on the days off on the Thin Lizzy tour, we'll go in and we'll go in the studio and we'll record another 4 and make it a proper record. And so that's what we did. The main thing is, especially now, this time around, is not to shortchange fans by putting out anything that we don't think is 100%. And so we wanted to make Rockville 2 as good as Rockville 1. And the strange thing is, some people prefer it, which just goes to show you what we know about picking songs for an album, But now it's turned out great. It's really worked out well for us because, both albums have been really well received, and people love both albums, and it's a good package of all new songs for the fans,
From your perspective, how do you rate that album or those albums in comparison to the back catalogue? You've already made it clear that Taking It to the Streets was a bad moment, but how do you rate this sort of present Rockville collection compared to your back catalogue? Is it one of your favourite albums?
I would say Rockville's probably my favourite album since Tough It Out by a million miles. I mean, I think it's got a much more modern direction to it, but it retains what FM are all about. And when we did Metropolis, Gary, it was our first album for 11 years, so we were probably too over-conscious on what kind of album we should make. It's got to have this, it's got to have that element in it. Whereas Rockville is what the band are about now, and what we want to do now. And I think the songs on it are really, really strong. We took our time on doing them, and I love it. And the reviews, I mean, like 9 out of 10 in classic rock, 9 out of 10 in it's been amazing, the reviews of the record. So luckily, you can never tell these things, but it looks like the press and our public agree with us, so, and the radio play from Planet Rock, we've never had the support from them like we have done on this record, another big station that have been playing so many tracks off of the Rockville album. And this album seems to have opened a lot of doors for us again. So I'm really, really proud of it, and I like it. What do you think of it?
I adore it, but
it's the important thing. It doesn't matter what I think, mate. It's what you think. Because you're the people that play it. So to me, you can never tell when you're making a record. You can believe in it 100%, but until you put it out to people like you, radio people, press people, and of course the fans, what we think to it really doesn't matter. We just have to believe that it's a good piece of work and strong, but everybody has opinions, don't they? So, fortunately it looks like we've got this right, which is great from our point of view.